Hi everyone. Before you watch this video, you need to have your unit circle out and have that filled out. So basically what we're going to do, we're going to find the 6 trig functions, and you should know that sine of theta equals y over r. And we're using the unit circle, so that would just mean that sine of theta is y, because y over 1 is just y. And then we have cosine of theta equals x over r, which just means it equals x. And the rest are kind of self-explanatory. Tan of theta would be y over x. And then, let's see, cosecant of theta is just 1 over y. And secant of theta is 1 over x. And therefore, cotan of theta equals x over y. And the first one we're going to do is 45 degrees. So we already know that on the point on the circle, well, we could just actually write this out. So sine of theta equals square root of 2 over 2, and cosine of theta equals square root of 2 over 2. That means tan of theta, so this is actually your y and x, so this is your x and your y. Again, r is 1. So basically you're just dividing these two. Square root of 2 divided by square root of 2 is just 1. And then for the reciprocal functions, cosecant of theta equals 2 over square root of 2. Same with secant of theta. And cotan of theta equals 1, because you're just dividing these two. Now, of course, we don't want to leave our answers like this, so let's rationalize the denominator. That gives you 2 square root of 2 over 2. These cancel, so our answer is just square root of 2. And so the same would be for this one. Okay? Now we're going to do, let's see, 5 more. So let's do 150 degrees. I know sine of theta at my 150 is 1/2. That's just your y. And your cosine of theta is square root of 3 over 2. Basically, our point is square root of 3 over 2. Actually, 150, it's supposed to be negative. Sorry. And my y is positive. Again, r is 1. Now, for tan of theta, we're just going to divide y over x, which equals 1/2 divided by negative square root of 3 over 2. Now you cancel the 2's here, and you get negative 1 over square root of 3, which is negative square root of 3 over 3 when you rationalize. Now the reciprocal functions are cosecant of theta, and you just flip these, so that's going to be 2. And secant of theta is going to be negative 2 over square root of 3. And cotan of theta, now I don't want to flip that. I want to flip this one. So that's why I left that answer out like that. So when you flip that one, you're just going to get negative square root of 3. And you flip that one, then you have more work to do. And the only thing we have to do is clean this one up. So that's negative 2 square root of 3 over 3. And that's it. The next one we're going to do is 315. 315, I know my points are square root of 2 over 2 and negative square root of 2 over 2. So my sine of theta is just this one. my cosine is my x. Which one's negative? That one. So my tan of theta is going to be -1, because you just divide these two. Y over, this is y, this is x. And then you just flip everything. So for your reciprocals, cosecant of theta equals -2 over square root of 2. And secant of theta equals +2 square root of 2. And cotan is also going to be -1. And we rationalized this before on the previous videos, and we got square root of 2, so it's going to be negative square root of 2, and this one is just the square root of 2. Okay, next one is 210 degrees, and for 210, I know that that point is -1/2, comma, negative square root of 3 over 2, so sine of theta is this one. Cosine of theta is this one. Now, when you divide those two, get negative square root of 3 over 2, divided by -1/2. The 2's cancel. 2 negatives make a positive, so you get square root of 3. You're going to notice that tan and cotan are, you guys, okay, tan and cotan are positive in quadrant 1 and 3. Now for the reciprocal, you just have to do a little extra work. Cosecant of theta is -2 over square root of 3. And secant of theta is just going to be -2. And cotan is just going to be these flipped, or you could just flip this, 1 over square root of 3, which we already know is square root of 3 over 3. And the only thing we have to take care of is this one. So let's rationalize the denominator. You get -2 square root of 3 over 3. And at this one, 330 degrees. And after a while, the more you do these, you kind of have these memorized. We know the coordinate that goes with this, the ordered pair, is -1/2, and whoops, I got it mixed up. So it's square root of 3 over 2, comma, -1/2. So sine is your y, cosine is your x, and then tan is these two divided. So the 2's will cancel, and you're just going to get -1 over square root of 3, which now we already know is negative square root of 3 over 3. And then you flip everything. So cosecant of theta is -2. Secant of theta is 2 over square root of 3, which we know is 2 square root of 3 over 3. And then basically on my cotan, I'm not going to flip this one. I'm going to flip that one. And that equals negative square root of 3. Last one we have is 420 degrees. Now you can leave it like that, but I tend to, it's coterminal. If I subtract 360, it's coterminal with 60 degrees. Because you subtract 420 minus 360. But I'm still going to write it as 420. But at 60 degrees, I know my x is 1/2 and my y is square root of 3 over 2. But you're still going to write sine of 420 degrees, cosine of 420 degrees, tan of 420 degrees, and then we'll go over here and do cosecant of 420 degrees, secant of 420 degrees, and cotan of 420 degrees. And then some of this should seem very familiar. You end up getting the same kind of ratios. Cosine is your x. When you divide these two, this is your y, this is your x, so we're dividing y over x. You're going to get square root of 3, and then you flip everything. So this is 2 over square root of 3, this is 2, and this is 1 over square root of 3. And we know that this equals 2 square root of 3 over 3, and this one equals square root of 3 over 3. And that's all. Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.